Welcome back, everyone. Today I am replacing our toilet seat cover. You can see here I already took the old one off. I didn't show that because it was fairly straightforward. There was just screws that you kind of unscrewed from the bottom. The new one, we didn't really know. We thought we were getting a pretty basic one because it was super cheap at Aldi. But it actually looks pretty fancy. It's got some special like soft close features so it doesn't slam. And it looks a lot more complex to put together, so I'm just going to go through it with you in case you have one like this. So first things first, check out your instruction manual. Most people don't want to do that. I didn't really want to do it, but it's a good idea. And then check and make sure you have all your parts, because you don't want to start putting it together and then have to go back and be like, hey, you didn't give me everything. So it's a lot easier to do if you do that right away. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so in our instructions, move this out of the way quick so I don't damage that in the process. In our instructions, they do number all of the parts. If you have a handy little guide here that you can look at. So I'll just walk through some of the steps on here. That it says our screw, which is number 9, through a metal ring, which I guess it is a metal ring, but I feel like it's not what you'd consider a typical metal ring. Anyway, number 4. And then through one of these hinges, which kind of makes sense because it's the same shape. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. So that's kind of what it looks like so far. And then we want to put that on top of a corresponding hole in the toilet. So I'm going to look at the other part here and just make sure. So we can either do it this way or maybe we want it on the outside. So I'm going to check that. They show this hinge part being on the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and do like that. And then I'm also going to go ahead and do the other one right away. Something like that. So then we want a dowel, a washer, and a nut. Three, 5, 2. It's a lot easier if you take it out of the bag. I was afraid of losing it, but there's not a good way to do it. So these are our dowels here, these plastic things. And then obviously like your typical washer, and then a nut, if you can see here, below the screw, and we'll want to fasten this. So basically, just to show you, it'll be first we'll do this one, the plastic one, that, and then the nut, just to kind of show you how those go together. We'll go ahead and put that on here. Okay, now we're going to repeat on the other side. This will probably be easier if you have a second person that could either hold one end or just generally help you out. Might be easier too if I'd use this, but I did not. So we'll try that on this side. See if that helps me hold it in there. It seems like it's hard to even fit this thing in there, but we'll go ahead and give it a try. So this wrench we got here, good in theory, not so great in practice, at least for the general, like putting the nut on. It seemed like it caused more problems than just using your hands, but it'll be great for tightening it later. So now I have both my hinges on there. make sure the hinges are positioned correctly and the toilet seat fits onto the hinges. Okay, so we're going to take our toilet seat now, and, well, that doesn't work. Maybe if we turn it around, I'm not sure if it matters which direction they are or if you just have to like adapt it to make sure that they fit. Because this one, even if they're as far apart as they go, it doesn't fit. So I'm thinking I just have to change it. The only thing that really makes sense to me is if I can do something like that. So we'll see if that works. So once we have that on there, well, it really sticks on there if you lock it on. Maybe that's that button. So if you want to take it, no. Apparently do not do that all the way because it like just totally grabs on and it's never coming off again. So, this one, now it says we want to tighten very securely with 5 Newton meters, because we all know what 5 Newton meters feels like, right? I know I do. Not. So that's pretty secure. I'm going to say that's my 5 Newton meters because I have no idea. Then once we do that, we want to put our metal caps on. Kind of assuming we don't want this covering on there. Could be wrong, but I'm assuming we want it something like so. So one is done. Since I bumped that hinge all around when I was taking this off, I need to realign it and hopefully not lock it in place again. Alright, so something like that. Also, don't catch your finger in there. It does not feel awesome if you get your skin caught on one of those hinges. I have a nice blood blister from that, so be careful. If you can see me. Alright. Oh. Try not to move this one too much here. Basically, I just want this nice and snug so it doesn't move, because you don't want your toilet seat rattling around on there. Also, I didn't mention this at the start, it's a really great idea to just kind of disinfect the cell before you start putting it on, because your head is going to be really close to the toilet bowl. So I actually Clorox this thing down pretty good, in case you're wondering why my head is like in the toilet bowl. But if you didn't, you'll probably survive. Wash your hands afterwards, probably should anyway. Alright, so I'm going to get my other metal cap here. And mostly those, I don't know that it matters as much which way the hinges are, just because we want those to, the caps kind of hide everything anyway. So now we want to put the toilet seat from above so the hinges catch on the mounting holes and it snaps into place. Alright, that sounded like a snap to me. So, I I don't know what the other, number 13, hooked tip buffer. So I haven't seen anything on that yet. That is these pieces right here. So I feel like this is, well, maybe go down even further. I don't think we want it doing this, but hopefully people aren't coming around the screw with their toilet seat and it's just coming up and down. This must be the easy close. Do not push the lid down, and do not push it down when it's doing with the easy close mechanism. Tap the lid slightly and it will close automatically. So in order, that is super slow though. Hopefully no one leaves the toilet seat up because it's going to take like 30 seconds for the toilet seat to close, so you better not have to go very badly. Otherwise, if you want to remove the toilet seat, you might be able to see that button that I pushed earlier back here. You can push that and then pull it off. And then we're still going to try and figure out what these handles do. Don't clean aggressively. Well, I mean, like, don't use any abrasives, but you probably can't do that on most things. If the toilet seat should slip sideways due to lateral forces, basically try not to do that. You can attach these underneath the hinges. So I want to say it's something like that. Remove the rear toilet seat buffers on the under seat side of the toilet seat near the hinges, and attach these in the resulting spaces. So we'll take that off and just try and, I just said I wasn't going to do this again, didn't I? But I'm curious now. Well, remove the rear toilet seat buffers. So that must just be like these guys, right? That you can remove them, and in its place you can do that, so then it'll hold it like this. So if you sit on the top of the toilet seat a lot and it moves, you can replace these with that. So I'm not going to do that. I don't think we necessarily need them. We'll try this. Oh, that's a little bit frustrating to me, how long that takes to close. But we did get this for like $10.30 or something, and we went to, at Aldi. We went to Menards, and I think the cheapest we found was like 30 bucks. So, while it might not be my favorite, it will get the job done. Like I said, it might kill me in trying to be patient with the toilet lid closing. Really kill me here. But overall, it looks fairly good, fairly sturdy. It looks like we got the right fit. That's another thing if you're doing it. This one actually tells you to measure from the holes to the front of the toilet seat to make sure your lid is the right size. They do make a lot of different sizes of these. Some are round, some are oval, whatever. So make sure you're measuring that. This actually feels fairly sturdy. I was kind of worried about the plastic that like you couldn't sit on here, but it actually feels fairly sturdy. I don't think I would stand on it, but you probably shouldn't do that anyway. But I do really like that it's not discolored. Our other one was wooden and the paint was kind of wearing away, so it was like black, so it just looked like we never cleaned. And we did clean, it's just the paint was gone. So I'm really excited for a nice white toilet seat, and thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button and leave us a thumbs up, and have a wonderful rest of your day.